Playing this piece of music, especially for all our lovely people that are in lockdown all across the world, Victoria, especially. I'm hoping you can hear this music. Please, would somebody let me know? I'll turn it up a little bit anyway. And help. I'm going to wait for a few minutes and listen to the music. There's a lot of trouble going on in our world, so we've got to try our best to send as much healing and help as we possibly can to everybody, no matter what it's for. And if we can do our little bit, it's funny, I always used to say that my little bit doesn't count, but everybody's little bits collectively do count. Hey Bella, how are you? We've got a couple of people online at the moment. Bella, can you tell me if you can hear this music? So help. Oh, yeah, you can hear the music. Thank you, Bella. I hope it's not too loud. Hello, everybody. A couple of people online. Fantastic. Thanks, Bella. I was just saying, the music is for a reason. So these videos are about helping, uplifting, and sharing with everybody. I might play that again for a little while. And
explore your own backyard with up to 130,000 bonus Qantas points with over 50 cards to choose from and cards starting from $0 annual fee.
I love technology.
There's a card for everyone
go.
at Qantas.com/cards.
That should do it.
We all know them. They're the go-to people. Australia's 3.5 million small businesses. And together, they go to make something far more valuable than anything they do or sell.
Hold on a second.
They go to make a street,
Hold on a second.
Community.
I don't know what I've done.
Small business thrives.
Communities thrive.
And Australia thrives. So next time you need to go to anyone for anything,
bear with me.
Go to the people.
That's what comes with having a week off. You can't. Oh, there you go. Right. Okay, everybody. Sorry about that. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. And I need to find myself a footstool because I only got little legs. Hello, Renee and Bella. And there are a few people on there. So just say hello and make your presence known. So I was just saying, and I played the Beatles' Help song. And the reason I did that is because we need a lot of help in our world at the moment. So I actually sent out help and healing to, hey Sandra, to Victoria, the state. It's funny because I've got a daughter, Victoria, as well. Hello, Angela. But Victoria, I was listening to the breakdown of what you're being allowed to do. Hello, Lynn. And unfortunately, it's not what you all thought it was going to be. And I think there's a lot of people really feeling for you at the moment. So a lot of energy and healing and positivity going out to everybody in the state of Victoria at the moment. Hello, Louise. But also, and Jackie, but also, oh, Jackie, you're one of the Melbourne ones. So we're sending out lots of love and healing, or I've been doing that this week, and I'm sure everybody online here tonight will do exactly the same. But the UK, it's almost in total lockdown. I think the South is not in lockdown. Wales is, and from I think North London up is things are so everywhere it's shut down, and it's horrible. And listen, my lovely friend Brett put something up today. We whinged and whined about the fact that we were on lockdown in New South Wales as well, or Queensland or whatever, but we did what we were told to do and it worked. So, we can't really complain. When you think of what's going on in the rest of the world, let's keep sending those lovely positive thoughts out. So I don't want to dwell on that, but I know that I've got a lot of people in Melbourne that I know, and I want to ask everybody here to just send out as much positivity and energy as we possibly can. Okay, so I want to know what you're all up to. I have had no voice for a couple of days, so and I'm hoping that my voice will last through this next hour. Now, I want to know what you're all up to, because it's interesting. I've just come back from a week away. I did a lot of driving. It was very tiring, but what beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country this Australia is. It's amazing, because wherever you go, it's beauty after beauty. And I saw things like bush turkeys, whales and seals and all sorts of beautiful things. But they're just stunning scenery. It's just amazing. It never ceases to amaze me. Now, any of you that are got really good spotting abilities, thanks, Lynn. Yeah, we'll all do that. So any of you that have got I can't think of the right word, but good spotting abilities, you will notice that within my sunflowers, I'll ask you about that in a second, Bella. We have some Australia flags. Now, some of you, or a lot of you, will already know that I got super, super excited this week, because I've got my letter from the immigration saying that I've been granted my visa. My citizenship. I've just got to wait for the observation. Thank you, Bella. Oh, my brain. So citizenship has been granted. I've just got to wait for the ceremony. And I have never been so excited in my life. I haven't done a live since then. And I got my letter. And I'm walking up the little alleyway to my home. I opened the letter and I only read the first line, and I screamed at the top of my voice. And there were people in the house opposite where I was standing. And I went, oh, sorry. But she went, ah! I couldn't believe that after, I think it's been nearly 10 years. Thank you, Renee. After nearly 10 years of, is it not? And I had two letters from immigration that said you've got 28 days to leave the country in that 10-year period. So it's been the scariest, but the most rewarding time, I think. I've learned such a lot, not only about this beautiful country, but I've learned such a lot about myself. I didn't realize that I had the tenacity to just keep going. I mean, anybody that knows me knows that I'm like a dog, a dog with a bone. I don't let go. Hello, Katrina. I don't let go. And, if I really feel passionate about something, I'll just keep going until I get there. And I really thought, on 2 or 3 occasions that was it, and I was going to have to go back to the UK. And it's interesting, actually, because I used to go to a pub in the UK, thanks, Lynn, and I used to say to them, I'm going to Australia, I'm going to try for my visa, blah, blah, blah. And one day, I think it's just after I got my residency, one of the young guys said, he said, we all laughed at you behind your back, saying that there was no way that you were going to be able to do this. You were too old and all the rest of it. So I'll tell you a story about why I'm here, because I know I've told this story before, but it is really important to say why this is so important to me, and how it all culminated. Anyway, so the guy in the pub said, oh, yeah, we've all been laughing. And it was funny because I go back to that pub and it's the same people on the same seats, drinking the same drink with the same conversation. And I think, oh, I broke out of that. I got out of it. But it was funny because I know that Australia was very important to me. We were supposed to emigrate as a family when I was 16. But unfortunately, one of my sisters failed the medical, so it didn't happen. And we were supposed to, well, I've got the wrong teeth in tonight. We were supposed to follow 2 families, 2 of my family, who came over in 68 and then 71. And around 72, we were supposed to be coming. But as I said, my sister failed the medical. Anyway, for my 40th birthday, I came here as a holiday treat for myself. And I felt as if I'd come home. It was the most incredible experience. And I was telling somebody the other day that when I landed, I felt like I wanted to be like the Pope and get down on my knees and kiss the ground. And I didn't understand what that was all about. Anyway, 2008, I know it very well. 2008, I was in such a state, such a mess. I just about lost my business, and somebody had stitched me up with work, and it was really, really a very, very difficult time. Spirit and your determined spirit make it happen to put you in the place that you were meant to be. And I feel like that, Lynn. I really feel that I'm in the right place. But anyway, 2008, everything was falling apart around my ears, and I got shouted at by Spirit, and they said to me, and you know when you tell people, oh, I hear voices in my head, and they think you're crazy. So the number of people I've told this story to over the years, and they probably walk away going, nutter, keep away from her. But I'm not a nutter. Anyway, so I heard the voices in my head, and it said, give up your business, give up your home, give up your country, go to Australia to teach. And I remember listening and taking on board what they'd said. And then I just screamed at them, and I went, how on earth is that going to happen? I've not got any skills, qualifications, no money, nothing to offer Australia. Okay, but I just read the book The Secret, and that was quite a pivotal time in my life. And they'd said about affirmations and vision boards and making things happen. If you wanted something to happen, you wrote it down. So I put in my diary that the following November I was going to go to Australia, and I put a line through every page in every day, in November. And if I've repeated this story, I'm sorry, but I'm so excited about all of this. Anyway, so I decided to just wait and see what happened. And Bella, you are funny. January went, February, March, April, May, June. And June came, and I got an email from a lovely man who I'm now very good friends with, Jeff Shaw. And some of you may know him. And he said, I'm coming to England. And I instantly emailed straight back and said, when are you coming? What airport? I'll be there to pick you up. Come and stay with me. And all my family thought I was a complete nutcase. Well, I don't care. I am. And it really doesn't matter anymore. I've got this far on being the biggest nutcase ever. But anyway, so he came and stayed for 3 nights over a 3-week period. And he actually came on nights that I was working. So I'm sure I've told this story before. But anyway, sorry, I'm going to repeat it because it's good. And anyway, he saw me work, and he said, oh, you should come to Australia. Yeah, affirmations and journaling is so powerful, Michelle. You are right. Get to it, everybody, because it works. So he saw me work, and I did what I do. So I did a ghost investigation and 2 theatre performances. And he said, oh, you should come to Australia. So anyway, he said, come to Brisbane. So what happened was Spirit gave me enough work to buy a ticket. So it's just funny how it all unfolded. So I came to Brisbane. I had family in Melbourne, but he got me the work in the Brisbane area. I got myself work in all the other areas, and I was flat out with work. It was incredible. And I thought that I would just come and go. I could come in for 3 months and work and then have to go home. Because I came in on a business visa, working visa. And anyway, I think it was the 2nd year I'd been doing this, I got offered a 457 visa, which is a work visa through a company. But unfortunately, that all went, I am home, that all went pear-shaped and didn't happen. And then it was one after another, and then it was a tribunal and another visa and a tribunal, and oh my goodness me, and so much money. I won't tell you how much, but it cost me so much money. But I'm really, really glad that I pursued it, because if I look now, or when I go back to the UK, when I go back to the UK, I go home and it's not home anymore. And I go back and I think, I'm not here anymore. This is not my country. I don't belong here. And then I come here and I feel, oh, wow, I have actually come home. So I don't know if any of you believe in past lives and all the rest of it, but I do. And I believe that I've been in Australia many, many times, and that's the pull that I've had. So from the age of 13, I was doing a project at school on Australia, and that's quite funny because we had to do all sorts of things, and I pinched all the labels off my mum's fruit and other things in the cupboard, and she didn't have a clue what she was undoing in the cupboard, but it was all part of my project, which I was making a real good job of, and I got a very good score on that. Anyway, so yes, so to get my offer of citizenship and just waiting for the ceremony, I feel so, so blessed. I really do. So all I can say is thank you, Australia. Thank you, everybody that's been making me feel so welcome. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Anyway, has anybody else got any stories like that where spirit tell you? And it's interesting. Okay, I'm jumping. If you've got stories like that you can share where spirit have given you something and you've acted upon it, let me know. Because, you know, I say to people, I'm not one of these people that says, oh, spirit says this and spirit says that and spirit the other, because that means you're not doing your life yourself. You're relying on spirit and the spirit world to give you your answers and your guidance. Well, I get information, but I don't go, oh, spirit says, spirit says, spirit says, because I get on with my life anyway. And that's what I did here. You know, they told me that this is what was going to happen. So I went along and I thought, well, if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But it did. As I said, I may be crazy in some ways, but I'm not crazy. I believed, I trusted, and I did what I could to be proactive. I think that's the word, to be proactive, to try and make this happen if I could. Anyway, so let me know, as I said, if you've got any stories like that. Yes, definitely past lives, deja vu, absolutely. It's funny because I went to Uluru, Ayers Rock, when was it? The year before last, I think it was, or it might have been, oh, can't remember, last May, the May before. Me and time don't work together. I just can't remember. And I went there and I felt like I'd come home. And also a place that I felt like I'd really come home was down in Bairnsdale. And I remember going with a friend of mine, Alex Brownhill, and we were going down to do some work, and we were doing readings and workshops and like a retreat. And as we were driving down, I looked at her sort of out the corner of my eye and I said, can you see them? She said, yes, I can. What can you see? I said, we got a welcoming committee. And it was absolutely amazing. I nearly swore then. But it really was, because the streets, the roads were lined with Aboriginal warriors. And I don't know if that's what you call them, but they were all with their shields and their spears. And it was, oh my goodness me. And she said, they've been waiting for us to come. Anyway, we did lots of land clearing down there, and we connected with a lot of Aboriginal people as well. So I just feel like I'm part of it. And, you know, that may sound really fanciful, but I don't think it is. And it's also interesting because many years ago I had a guy called Edgar Winter. Is an astrologer, but he does astrocartography. So that is astrology. So according to your birth date, where in the world are you meant to be? So he did mine when I was to and fro into Melbourne, and he said that you're supposed to be in either Adelaide, which I love, or Sydney, which I went, nah, that's never going to happen. And so there were these big, thick, fat black lines going through Adelaide and Sydney, New Zealand. And when I looked at the UK, there were little wishy-washy lines going through where I was born and little wishy-washy lines going through where I grew up, which I find very, very interesting. And I also find it interesting because I wasn't going to come to Sydney at all. That was definitely not on my radar. And by hook or by crook, something happened. I got directed here. My daughter lives here. I had some disappointment when I was living in Wangaratta. So I thought, well, I'll come up here and then just see where I go from there. And oh, America. Oh, and Native American Indians. That's why that is, Lynn. I hate Vegemite. Anyway, so oh, you've put me off now, both of you. So wishy-washy lines through Essex, where I was born in England, and Wales, where I grew up. But there's these great big fat thick lines going through, as I say, Sydney and Adelaide. I've got a real affinity with Adelaide and the people there, and they're all my best friends. I love them, love them, love them. But Sydney was an interesting one for me, because I came here and I just didn't feel as if I belonged or as if I fitted in. But I sort of taken a step back, done my work, and I realized that this is where I'm so meant to be. And I love everybody here. Everybody's made me feel super welcome, and I've made the most incredible friends whilst I've been here. And if ever I go away, I always miss them. But I'm missing everybody in Adelaide as well. So as soon as I can travel, I'm going to see you all. Anyway, I'm digressing a little bit. So what else? So you're going to let me know if you've got any other stories like that that you can share with me. And oh, so last time I was on, which was the week before last, because I had a week off, which was rather nice. Lynn was talking about crystals and crystal healing, and it's interesting because Lynn mentioned that somebody had been given a crystal. I'm not sure if it was actually you, Lynn, that gave them the crystal, but it was, I think it might have been a rose quartz, and you said that the crystal changed brown whilst it was in the hospital. Now, I find that very amazing because and I sort of seen this happen. So I'm going to show you. I'm not sure if we can actually see it. This is a crystal tower, which is just a clear quartz crystal. And when I first bought it, it was completely clear. Now, I think you can see if I turn it around, light permitting, that there is a great big line and lots of squishy bits in the middle, which weren't there when I bought this. And it sits with others on my desk, and I'm sure that it's absorbing crystals absorb energy. It's absorbing the computer energy, the negative energy that's in the computer, and with what's going on with the work that I do. So it was Adam and Lynn who gave the rose quartz crystal. So I had remembered most of it. But because it was in a situation of healing, the crystal had absorbed that energy and changed color. Now, mine hasn't changed color, but it's really funny because there's a gray block in the middle plus gray and white. And I feel that is the negative ions, if that's what you call it, from the computer. And I've seen this before. Crystals really, really do work. They've got incredible powers. And I know, if I need to sleep, an amethyst goes under my pillow. Amethyst is my birthstone. I'm very partial to that. Rose quartz is either side of my bed. And it's funny because I know that there's some ladies that wear a rose quartz crystal in their bra, and they say you have to be very careful at nighttime when you get undressed because you could knock somebody out, not just with your bosom, but with the crystal that's in your bra. I think that's quite funny. But people keep them in very funny places. But the power of the crystal is so potent. I think that's the right word. My favorite crystal is the amethyst because that's my birthstone. But I've got clear quartz crystals sitting on my desk, as well as, I'll show you this one. This is actually quite a special one. There was a lovely lady in Adelaide called Annie, the Reverend Annie from Noarlunga Church. She's no longer with us. And she came up to me after I'd done the church service, and she said, I've got a gift for you. And she said, I've just been over to Peru, and she said, I brought 3 crystals back, and I didn't know who they were for, but she said, this one is most definitely for you. And this is kyanite, and it is the most powerful stone I think I've ever owned. Michelle, the crystal lady. Crystals are like a body part to me. If I don't use them, I feel like a limb is missing. Amazing, amazing tools to help us on the earth plane. Love to you. Now, I remember Michelle used to do crystal bed healing, and I had one of her crystal bed healings. And there are crystals all around the bed, under the bed, and it was incredible, the energy that comes from them. I talked about Jeff Shaw earlier on. Now, Jeff has got crystals almost the size of this room, and he's got one room dedicated to crystals with a bed in there and a pyramid. And he says if he's feeling unwell, or people come to his home and they're not right, he says, just go and have a lie for an hour on the crystal bed. And it's a normal bed, but it's just got all these fantastic crystals around it. But people should look up what crystals mean. Your birthstone is important to you. This kyanite is, as I say, a very, very powerful stone. I don't pick it up very often because of the power that's in it, but I do keep it on my desk in front of me. Yeah, it is my best friend. Yeah, I remember getting that when I was still coming back and forth, and I remember taking it home to the UK and showing Michelle especially when I had that crystal healing. Yeah, I've got loads of crystals as well, and I can never remember all the names. And I've got my crystal Bible here, and people ask me, what crystals can help me for, whatever. So I know Tiger's Eye helps with study, rose quartz help with love, amethyst is sleeping, but 1,000,001 other things as well. Clear quartz, if I remember rightly, is about clearing energies. But there just are so many powerful crystals. And just have a look up crystals. I mean, there are... Adam's a gemologist, so if we need any information about crystals, we need to speak to Lynn Weston and Adam, who can help us with anything we need to know. So thank you for that, Lynn. I know that I've seen some of Adam's crystals, and they're monstrous. They really are beautiful, but I didn't realize that he was a gemologist, and I didn't know there was such a thing as a gemologist. So I've just learned something, and I'm sure others have as well. So, yeah, and as I said, those crystals sit on my desk. So I think it was last, clear quartz will amplify if you put that with other crystals. Oh my goodness me. So I've got that with my kyanite. And I can't remember what the other little stone is by the side of it. So, oh my gosh, no wonder I'm on fire every time I do something in this room. Okay, so I've got them on my desk all the time to help me with my work and with energy to help me, because I'm doing my readings, I'm doing my teaching, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the other week it was a full moon, and somebody said, stick them outside. So I put them all in a bowl outside, and my granddaughters came over the following day and they wanted to know why all my crystals were out in the garden. So I was trying to explain to them about the energy from the moon, but I left them out for a whole 48 hours actually, because I thought, get the energy of the moon twice over, but also the energy of the sun, because I know that that's very very healing also. So okay, so what I've asked you what experiences you've had. Please let us know. I don't know whether you're still doing charging belly. You're right. I don't know whether, Michelle, you're still doing your crystal healing and your crystal massaging, I think it was. You charge your crystals every full moon. Do you know what? I always forget, Michelle, and it was only because somebody told me to do it. And I thought, oh, okay, put them all in a bowl, take them all out. But I've got crystals dotted all over the house, as I say. Okay, so I've told you about my trip. Now, I wanted to say also that, okay, oh, good, Michelle's still doing. So if anybody's in the UK and wants a crystal healing, go and see Michelle Murray, Michelle Leah Murray. She's on Facebook. And if Michelle, put your email address up and I could get people to email you if you like. Yeah, we all love crystals. I think we all love crystals. Okay, so I belong to a group called the TS Fellowship. So TS stands for the Spiritual Fellowship, and Bella needs a truck to take all hers out. Some of you have heard me talk about Martin, and Martin was on here a month or so ago now, and I had totally forgotten, and very, very remiss of me that I actually have a qualification from Martin's company. So the TS Fellowship, so it's a spiritual fellowship, and I've actually got my associate member, and I think I need, yeah, we know you live in Surrey. We know you live in Surrey, Michelle, but there's some people from the UK that listen to this as well, so they may be able to get some help off you. So just let us have your email or whatever. Anyway, so I've got this wonderful qualification, and as I said, very remiss of me, I got it when Martin was here in February, and I sort of tucked it neatly and safely in the drawer, and then I suddenly realized that I've got another qualification. And for me, qualifications are important because it proves that you can do what you do. Now, I'll also mention, because I want to talk about qualifications or proof. I'll write that down and that'll remind me. Okay, I'm just going to put Michelle's comment up. Any of you that want to talk to Michelle, who is in Surrey in the UK, it's calvert38@aol.com. I'll leave that up for a little while so you can make a note of it. Okay, so there's also I'm also part of the Fox Pioneer Centre, and they are offering courses with the most incredible tutors, and I'm one of them. And then I also do my own classes. Now, I just wanted to put a shout out to all my students. Chionitis and attunement crystal, it aligns the chakras. Thank you for that. It's funny because I balance my chakras very often, actually. Maybe I should just use that as well at the same time. Okay, so my classes, I want to put a shout out for all the students that have been working with me since March. Now, whether that was on my lockdown and they were free classes, or whether from the middle of April it was paying customers, paying students. But I want to say that I've never seen people work so hard, so diligently, and wanting to be the best that they can. I always promote that, be the best that you can. And that goes for anything you do, any job that you do. You should be, or try to be, the best that you can, and work towards that goal all the time. I know I do. And for me, it is extremely important to keep learning, keep trying, keep plodding away, keep plugging away. So I'm doing some study at the moment, which I'm finding a bit hard, but I'm still got it on the back burner there. But yeah, so the classes we have done, expanding your mediumship, learning the language of spirit, because it is a different language altogether, and exploring different ways of working, trusting spirit 150%, because otherwise you can't do this work. But the other thing that we had a go at was remote viewing and forensic mediumship. I frightened the life out of my students the first week because I gave them all these juicy murderers, and one of the poor girls got so upset by it, and she I think I mentioned this, but she had to go and have a cup of tea and then came back and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a bit of a wuss, but I'll keep going." And then the following week we did juicy criminals, but they weren't murderers. But it was really interesting what people picked up. And once they got themselves in tune with what they were doing and in tune with themselves, and also linking into spirit, because I know it's a psychic exercise psychic exercises that we were doing, but we were still using spirit knowledge to be able to work in that way. I'm running out of words and I don't know why. Oh, Bella, good luck with your maths exam tomorrow. We'll send you lots of positivity. But anyway, we've also had practice platforms, and I've been very, very lucky in that Jan Colburn and Ness Colburn run the NASH, which is the New Addington Spiritual Healing Centre in the UK, and they give me a platform for my students to practice on, and I am totally blessed by that, absolutely totally blessed, because right, take that off now, thank you, it's been there enough. Totally blessed in the fact that students can actually practice live with real people, not just students, because people say to me, "Oh, we've done so much work with the students, we get to know everything about them." Well, I actually disagree with that, because you don't know everything about everybody. And even if you've worked with them 8 weeks on the trot, you still don't know everything. And I'll give you an example on that. So a few months back, it's a year and a half ago, when I was still living up in Sydney, my class were working, and I had one person at a time coming out in front of the class connecting. So 4 people in the class in that day, or on that day, brought my dad through. But the 4 of them brought my dad through in a completely different way. But it was all my dad. So if you think about it, and I'm sure I've mentioned this before, if somebody lives a life and die at 82, for instance, okay, they've got 82 years of stories about themselves. They've got different jobs, different places they've lived, changes in personality, because I know in my 65 years, my personality has changed so much from when I was a teenager to a hot-headed teenager, to a new mum that was trying to cope with kids, and it was a bit, scary, to going through divorces, but your personality changes and you grow. So that's what we've been trying to work on with connecting to our spirit people, is there is different stories attached to each facet of their lives, and that's what we've been trying to draw out and get the spirit person to give us. But there's too many people to go, "Oh, got a man here, it's your dad, he had a heart attack and he says he loves you." Well, for me, that doesn't mean anything, because that doesn't say anything about your dad. That doesn't say, about his personality, the jobs that he did, his hobbies, his pastimes, what his likes and dislikes. And I think, Yvonne, hello, I think that is really, really important. And I say to them, to the students, how would you like to be remembered when you die? And I got them all to write that down one day. And if anybody brings me back from the spirit world to somebody in the living in years to come, I'm going to be here for a long time, so it's not going to be a while. But if anybody brings me through is, "Oh, she's a blonde that liked to travel, liked to do mediumship, and she had 3 children." What has that told anybody? It hasn't told anybody anything about me, Val Hood, the person. There's a lot more to me than that. And each one of us have many, many, many layers. And with the work with the work that we do and with the aid of spirit, we can tap into each one of those layers and get a new bit of information. Every time we work, say, you know, I was to bring Lynn's dad through. Every time I worked with Lynn's dad, I could bring somebody something different through. Hello, Smith. I could bring something different through in you know. Oh, sorry, I just lost that. I could bring something different through. And what I do also is when I bring somebody through and I've worked with them before. Hold on. I just need to do something here. Yeah, we did this last week. We had another spammer. I've just blocked them. Okay, so oh, these people make you laugh. Hold on. I think he's blocked. Yes, user was blocked. Good. Gone. There's too many of those out there, and I want to talk about that in a second. And I've lost what I was saying now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But we're bringing through different aspects of a person. And I know, you know, the people in the spirit world sometimes must get really, really frustrated and saying, hey, pay attention. I'm giving you all this information and you're just ignoring it. So we can't ignore it. We have got to pay attention to all the fine detail that they give us. You know, their size of shoe, their inside leg measurement. You know, they started off with blonde hair, then it went dyed blonde. Oh no, blonde, then it went dyed brown, then it went green in a disastrous accident. And then they drove a blue car and it was a Ford Anglia. You know, we want that sort of information when we're talking to spirit. And I know that, again, shout out to all the students because they've actually been getting that stuff. And I think they've been so blown away by the way or the information that they've been getting through. So no wishy-washy mediumship. We've been getting really, really good stuff. But to be able to practice, we've practiced on Wonderful Wednesday as well because they have an open platform where they had my students and Nash, Brett Thomas with his church. Yeah, not just blonde hair. You're right, Michelle. We've got to get the validation. So Brett Thomas at Connected Inner West Connected Spirits has given us a platform to put students on as well. Oh, by the way, Inner West is on tomorrow night, and we've got the most amazing Jenny Doherty. Now, I love Jenny Doherty because she says it as it is. She is a very warm, personable person. She's become a very, very good friend of mine. I've worked with her in the UK and worked with her here, but she is the funniest medium, but one of the best mediums I think I've ever seen work. She is brilliant. So tomorrow night at 6:30, I keep forgetting because we're changing the times, but 6:30 tomorrow night, Inner West Connected Spirits. I will put some, I think I've got that link here that I can put up. Hold on 2 seconds. So we got, there it is, Inner West. And there we go, Inner West, www.connectedspirits.com. So that's on tomorrow night. And if you want a link to that, send a message and Brett will send you the link. So wonderful mediums. Now, so I've talked about my students, I've talked about training, and of course I've got my new block of classes which are starting on Saturday. Now I've changed the days. Oh, it's 7 p.m. tomorrow. Ah, yes, thank you, Sandra. We did change the times. Thank you. Okay, so I have changed my classes as well because I'm trying to work out a time and day that is suitable for the UK. I was doing a class for them at 4:30 in the morning, but it just burnt me out, so I couldn't do it. But anyway, so I'm doing a Monday morning, which is 10 till 12. Thursday evening, which is 8 till 10. That's the class that allows the UK people to join in. And Saturday morning, 9 till 11. And that gets people who are working, who can't do the evening or the Monday morning, an opportunity. So there are still some availability on there. So if anybody wants that information, I'll see if I've very cleverly got my own. Right, okay. So if you go to val@valhood.com on my events page, all the classes are there, and they're only $40 a week, and I think that is pretty good value for money. I brought the prices down because of the fact that I'm not traveling. I don't have to pay for hall hire because everything is done here in my lovely room. Every time I look behind me, I can see not only my beautiful flowers, which were given to me by my aunt when I came for my 40th birthday, but my lovely flags as well. It's so exciting to have got that. Anyway, so people are not asking me questions. I need you to ask me questions. Come on, come on, come on. So if anybody's interested in any of the groups that I've mentioned or wants information about training, please, please, please let me know. So for me, the training and the healing is important. So we were talking about how crystals work with healing. But healing can be as simple as having a book and writing the names in. I know that I changed the name of this healing book to the love book because when you send healing out to people, you're actually sending out love. And I know I went to visit on Friday, I think it was. Yeah, I lost track of days. On Friday, I went to visit some really lovely friends of mine, Bob and Maureen London. Maureen was having radiation treatment today, so my thoughts have been with her for the last 3 days, and I've heard that she's doing well, but I'm going to give them a call tomorrow. So, you know, anybody that you know that needs healing, let me have their names because I can put them in the healing book as well. Adam, if you would like to join a class, there's the information on the screen. It is val@valhood.com. So they're all online. And as I said, we've had the most amazing success. Some people come and do a course and just to enhance their skills or gifts, and others have come in as total beginners, and they've gone from nothing to something huge. Now, I wanted to mention to you, by the way, about proof. So I've noticed, and you know, if this is going to upset anybody, I'm sorry, but okay, this is just an observation of mine. And what I've seen is since the lockdown, more and more and more and more people are doing online readings. Now, okay, I don't do online readings. I do readings, but I don't do the online readings like this. Carolyn, yes, we'll put her on. Okay, thanks, Bella. I don't do online readings in a program like this because I don't think it is the right platform. If somebody rings me and books a reading, that's a different thing altogether. It's like doing a reading one-on-one. And if I'm doing a show, I can see the person, I can connect to the person. With this platform, I can't. So I won't do it. And I think it's too hard anyway. But I am watching more and more and more people. Okay, so doing this work as well. And listen, if you want to shoot me, shoot me. But when you're doing this work for spirit, isn't there something about presenting yourself in a way that is professional? I've been doing this 30 years, and I would never, ever, ever I can't say that. I would never, ever, ever come on here with greasy hair and, I don't know, dirty clothes, for instance. I always make sure that I put my face on, I do my hair, I dress accordingly. I may have my slippers on, but you can't see them. But I dress professionally, I act professionally, and I do not swear. Now, I've seen a fair few people doing these live readings who have been swearing, using some absolutely horrible words, which is so unnecessary. Okay, my mother used to say, anybody that swears hasn't got the intellect to use proper words. And I've never forgotten that, something like that, she said. But when you're working with spirit, why would spirit get you to swear? I think that is absolutely disgraceful. And what was the other thing that I was going to say? Not only are they swearing, but it's, I saw one lady the other day and she had a pimple on her forehead and she was picking it. And they obviously know some of the people who are coming online and they're going, oh yeah, so-and-so, I've got so-and-so here and they're telling me blah, blah, blah. Well, that's not being a good medium. That's just telling people what you already know. And that's something that I was just going to say. If I do a mediumship demonstration and I see somebody in the audience or spirit directs me to a person that I know that I have worked with before, I'll actually say to the audience, I have worked with this person before. I do know them, whether I know them well or not well. But I always say, I'm going to give them information that I don't know. And I always ask spirit to do that. So I work with true intent. And that's what a lot of people do. I was always taught, going back to the swearing. So I was taught at the Arthur Findlay College and by a lot of teachers from the Arthur Findlay College. And they always said, you should never swear because there could be somebody in the audience who's never heard a swear word, no matter how little or insignificant. And they could keel over and have a heart attack because, oh my goodness me. I know it sounds far-fetched, but in the day, we used to have a lot of old ladies that used to come in and, you don't know what people's backgrounds are and where they come from or how they live. And the other thing that I was always taught was to be presentable. And that for me, suited, booted, hair, whatever. It was really, really important. So when you see people like this, please, unless you know them personally, I wouldn't bother, because how accurate can you say their readings are? You can't get you can get feedback, but it is so slow and it's tedious. Anyway, I've complained about that enough, I think. But yeah, be careful who you go to, be careful who you listen to, and be careful who you get a reading off. Absolutely, you're right, Bella. It is respect for yourself, for the audience, and the spirit world. And for me, the spirit world is the most important, that I respect them and trust them implicitly. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing a job. I wouldn't be doing this job. So I am very, very careful about what I do and how I do it. Now, I'm going to try in a minute to...
No, local first.
No, go away. I don't want that. Now, I can't do it because... Oh, there you go. Maybe I can do it this way. No, I can't do it. Okay, we're gonna have a bit of difficulty here, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll play it on my phone because I can't get rid of those ads that are there, and it's Diane McTeague. Like your approach when giving messages to friends. I have often watched as people say, as we were talking about the other day, Mary Jane, rah, da, rah, da, rah. Yes, that's absolutely right. So it isn't credible. There's no credibility with that at all. I'm glad you actually said that, Diane. You probably said it better than I could, but that's what I was trying to get across. You've got to be mindful of the fact that if you know somebody, you can glean all sorts of information because you know it, and you can just repeat it. And everybody else that's on that live doesn't know that you know. But if you watch them, you can say, "Oh yeah, Jane. Oh yeah, I've got your mum here, and she's telling me da da da, and she's telling me your brother's da da da." But they already know that. So the other thing is I must mention is I've seen people, not ladies, people doing readings with their kids running around the house, and I'm going to find my music, running around the house, and all sorts of noise going on. And again, it's not very professional. It's not very professional at all. Now I've got to find this music. Please bear with me a second. Facebook Live. Okay, so I'm going to put this song on, and I'm going to turn it down for a minute because I need to whiz it forward. And I'm going to play Heal the World by Michael Jackson. And I really want you to, dog's interrupting you, right? Okay, I've got this on, and I've got it on quiet for the minute. But we know that healing works. We know that we can help every single person in front of us by sending out that energy. Walk along the street and see, who could you see that looks as if they've got a dark energy with them, and send that lovely light energy for them. Victoria, we're sending you bundles and bundles of energy, but to the rest of the world, we're doing that as well. Okay, let's listen to this song. Heal the world. Join in. Make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Heal the world. Make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Sing, I need to hear you. For you and for me and the entire human race, there are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Make a better place for you and for me. My voice is gone. Make a better place for you and for me. You and for me. You and for me. Okay. I will get this technology right one day with the music, but hey, it means I'm just a normal human being and that we're all fallible. I wish I was infallible, and then I wouldn't make any mistakes. Thank you, Bella. My voice is going. I'm going to have to go and I'm going to have to go and rest it, I think. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me tonight, and I really thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means such a lot to know that people follow this. And I get lots of comments afterwards, and it gets shared a lot, which is really lovely. But if you know somebody that any of this can help, please just let them know about the weekly lives. I still can't believe, I'm just going to add it up now, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, 7 months. I've been doing this for 7 months. In fact, 7 months tomorrow. Bye, Angela. And I didn't think that I would be able to do it, but I'm still doing it. And you are still supporting me and listening to my blabbering. No, I don't think it's blabbering. It actually makes a lot of sense to me, but it makes me feel good by sharing my knowledge, what I do, and also sharing my passion, which is working with spirit. So have a look at my website. It's up there. If anybody wants to email me, it's up there. Also, Val Hood Evidential Medium is how you connect to me on this this live. But if you've got any questions for next week, please let me have them. And thank you, Diane. I appreciate. We love watching and listening to you. Just missed the first half. Okay, you can go and listen to it another time. Anyway, I'm going to go, and thank you very, very much from this Aussie who's so excited about being an Aussie. I should be waving my flags right now. But thank you, everybody, for your support. Not only doing this for the work that I do, but for the support that I've been given in my journey to Australia and to my home. Thank you. Good night. Bye.